Today's topic is an analysis on the characteristic of the item in paper-based test, PBT, and smart device-based test, SBT, focus on the Optician National Board Examination by Eun Joo and Jung Un Jang from Ulji University. The sequence of progress is as follows. The national licensing examination should guarantee validity and reliability and accurately assess the learning process and ability of a medical technician. In other words, it is necessary to develop the evaluation method of impairing learners' understanding and thinking progress process for objects on the basis of their active response and of finding their cognitive level. Smart device-based test, SBT, can have a variety of multimedia items which are not supported by the PBT. Compared to the PBT, the SBT delivers information in the form of images and videos rather than text only. Therefore, the SBT requires learners to have the minimum linguistic understanding so that it is possible to reduce the difference between item response in the same test item. In particular, in respect to the ophthalmological law, the public demand an improvement in the quality level of optician. The most effective way to improve and verify optician quality level is a national licensing examination system. In the case of the United States and Korea, in the U.S., where computer-based national evaluation of achievement is performed, the U.S. medical licensing examination and the U.S. registered nurse licensing examination are based on computer. In Korea, some schools carry out computer-based evaluation for national scholastic aptitude examination on the trial various Therefore, this study developed the PBT and SBT item for the equal evaluation item of a trial test. For the Optician National Licensing Examination and analyzed the item on the basis of item response theory. Through the item analyzed based on item response theory, it is possible to estimate an error of measurement accurately according to individual learners' ability levels. The item response theory is not based on classical test theory, in which an error of measurement is estimated with the use of test reliability. This study tried to analyze the characteristic of the item in the Optician National Licensing Examination according to item response theory, and to find if the test items are adequate or need to be modified for the evaluation of a learner's ability level. Therefore, this study tried to analyze the characteristics of the item in the Optician National Licensing Examination according to item response theory, and to find if the test items are adequate or needed to be modified for the evaluation of a learner's ability level. In the design step, paper-based and smart device-based trial test for the Optician National Licensing Examination were planned to show multimedia type, data suggestions type, and text type item to test takers. Therefore, it tried to look into how this type of item influence the item depicted. Paper-based and smart device-based trial tests for the Optician National Licensing Examination were conducted, respectively. 6th or 3rd year students majoring in optical science of the 4-year E University situated in Seongnam. The characteristic of the item of the Optician National Licensing Examination were analyzed in item response theory. Unlike classical test theory, based on the total score of the test, the IRT tried to analyze the attribute of the item according to the unique item characteristic curve of each item that incorporated into the test. For the parameter estimation by the IRT, basis on programs, was applied to analyze the item according to Bayesian statistics. The program can analyze on one parameter item response model and the 2-parameter item response model. This study selected on 2-parameter item response model in order to estimate item difficulty, item discrimination, and Cronbach reliability. In addition, as a method of analyzing test takers' ability, EAP and Bayesian expected posteriori estimation, and MAP is Bayesian model estimation, were applied. Therefore, based on the IRT, this study calculated and compared the item difficulty and item discrimination of the item in the paper-based and smart device-based trial tests for Optician National Licensing Examination. As shown in table According to the IRT, the linguistic term of item difficult can be classified into 5 types. Very is, neither difficult nor is, difficult, and very difficult. The classification is not any absolute standard. In item response theory, item difficulty means the point of one's ability level in which the probability of answering an item correctly is 0.5, and it is denoted by or B. An item answered correctly by a student with a high level of ability is difficult, whereas an item answered correctly by a student with a low level of ability is ease. Just as the difficulty of classical test theory, item difficulty represents a level of item difficulty which ranges from -2 and 2 plus 2. Table presents the linguistic expression according to the item discrimination index in longest model. Item discrimination represents the slope of an item characteristic curve that show item difficulty, and it is denoted by or generally the slope of an item characteristic curve is the most steep and straight at plus minus 0.5 of item difficulty. Therefore, the slope of the point on an item characteristic curve that present item difficulty is estimated to be item discrimination. An item discrimination value is mostly a positive number, but sometimes is found to be a negative numbers. An item whose item discrimination is a negative number reduce the probability of correct answer with a loss in a test taker's ability level. Therefore, such an item needs to be removed. Regarding the item difficulty of the paper-based and smart device-based trial test for the Optician's National Licensing Examination, the item difficulty of the PBT was 0.621 and that of the SBT was 0.714, both of which were difficult. Therefore, item difficult was not different between the two trial tests. With regard to their item discrimination, the PBT had 0.979 and the SBT had 0.951, both of which were appropriate in the scope of item discrimination. Therefore, item discrimination was not different between the two trial tests. The item difficult and item discrimination value of the smart device-based test item for the Optician National Licensing Examination were calculated. The results are presented in table. In Bayesian statistics, the difficulty, discrimination, and estimation error of the estimated item and the maximum item information of each item were analyzed. As a result, the number 2 item is found to be the most difficult. And the number 71 item was the easiest. The item with the best discrimination was number 66 item. In this study, the characteristic of the item in the trial test for the Optician National Licensing Examination were analyzed according to item response theory. As a result, item difficult and item discrimination were not greatly different between the paper-based and smart device-based trial test for the Optician National Licensing Examination. As such, an Optician National Licensing Examination should be able to evaluate one's ability to solve a problem in real job context. In the current paper-based tests with selection type can mainly evaluate how much test takers memorize or understand relevant knowledge of job, rather than how much they solve a problem. In particular, in order to collect opinions of the person concerned for the introduction of a smart device-based test and to stabilize the introduction of the smart device-based national licensing examination perfectly. It is necessary to conduct various pilot projects to support experience of a smart device-based test. It is required to make many efforts to improve function in terms of smart device technologies instead of prematurely establishing a system to introduce the smart-based national licensing examination. In the circumstance of the chance to smart device-based test in the smart era, it is necessary to look into the actual conditions, education environment, and other general situation of smart device use in order to provide the smart device-based smart education effectively in education field. Please refer to the following for reference. Thank you very much.